All right, so a beautiful but overcast day here in Malibu. There's some beautiful colors in the water. I'm thinking of making something of the scene behind me. It's a gray day today, so that means the light won't be changing that much, which allows me to focus on color and composition and just basically play around and have fun. I've got my usual limited palette today: phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, burnt sienna, titanium white, and cadmium yellow medium. And I do have some cadmium yellow lemon from a previous painting. Today I'm painting over an old 11 by 22 inch panel. And so the first thing I'm trying to do here is kind of eliminate the old painting. So I'm roughly blocking in the rocks using a mixture of ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and a bit of burnt sienna. Painting over an old seascape, so I'm already sort of getting a sense of what the composition is going to look like. I do have to eliminate this dark area here. All right, mixing up a seafoam green color here using titanium white, phthalo blue, a touch of cadmium yellow lemon, and a touch of cadmium yellow medium. I want to eliminate this dark area here and also get some of these blue greens into the water. I've been doing a lot of complicated subjects lately. It's nice to get out and play around with a subject where I have a lot of freedom to play with shapes and color. I mixed up a yellow ochreish color using cadmium yellow medium, burnt sienna, titanium white, and a bit of ultramarine blue to kind of gray it down. I like the idea of having some foreground in the painting, in the composition. The approach on this painting is no different from my usual approach, which is just to focus on big shapes at first. So I've got the foreground shape here, the dark rocks. There'll be a whitewater shape and then a dark water shape. So pretty simple design idea. Trying to use the negative space of the water to carve out the positive shape of the rocks. There will be some strong colors up in this area, some blue greens, and hopefully that will be sort of a focal point right there. I'm thinking of having a dark wave passing through right here, and having that dark value will make the whitewater stand out and hopefully draw the eye to this area. And then up here I've got a lighter purple mix. There's quite a bit of moisture in the atmosphere, so I'm going to keep the value pretty light as we go into the distance here. All right, I got a mixture here of titanium white, phthalo blue, and a touch of cadmium yellow lemon. So you can see with this phthalo, I can mix up a really nice blue-green or aqua color. And I'm already going to start putting some of these saturated notes in to the painting. You might see some bits of orange, and that's left over from my initial sketch, which I did not film. The initial sketch was done with a mixture of titanium white and burnt sienna. I like to have little bits of burnt sienna showing through in the finished painting. It's nice to have those little complementary bits of orange when the painting is mostly going to be blues and greens. Adding some blue-green notes down here as well. I'm using a number 6 natural bristle flat, and I am keeping the paint fairly thick. Normally if I was painting over a new panel, I would keep the paint thin, but I do want to cover the old painting, so I'm painting a little bit thicker than usual and trying to get some color into the painting fairly early. A big wave just came through and broke up in this area, and I thought it looked pretty cool, so I'm going to add maybe a breaking wave right here, adding more minty green up here. All right, so I've got a mixture of titanium white, ultramarine blue, and a bit of alizarin crimson. It's a very light purple mixture here. This will most likely be the lightest value in the painting, so I can't go any lighter than this. So I'm going to key the rest of the values to the whitewater. It's been a while since I painted a seascape, and I know I've said this before, but painting seascapes for me is one of the most enjoyable types of painting. It's kind of stress-free and it feels like play. I like painting cityscapes, but it is a more stressful experience. Got a dark brown mixture here I made using ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and a little bit of alizarin crimson. Looking for some of the dark patterns within the rocks. Okay, so now I've added a bit of titanium white and ultramarine blue to cool off the mix. There are some cooler areas in the rocks as well. It's really fun looking for these subtle shifts of warm and cool within the rocks. I'm still using the natural bristle flat number 6. I'm noticing that I'm applying the paint a little bit differently than I did, say, the last time I did a seascape. Before, when I would do seascapes, I would just loosen up the paint a lot with medium, like liquid, and then just kind of scrub it and have it very sketchy. But now I'm using more deliberate, loaded strokes. There are some cracks in the rocks that I think could be helpful compositionally. They sort of run in this direction, so sort of pointing off towards this area right here. As I mentioned, I'm using loaded strokes, so I'm really loading the brush up quite a bit. So I'll probably make 3 or 4 strokes and then I reload the brush. And I'm leaving little bits of the blue-gray from the previous painting showing through again, so that I'll have warm and cools in this area. All right, so here's what I finished up with this painting. It took about 2 hours to complete. Again, I was just playing around with shapes and color and trying to apply thick paint using, oops, I think it's time to get out of here. Using thick paint and deliberate brush strokes. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to see some extra videos and help support the channel, there's a Patreon link down below. It's Patreon support that helps keep me making these videos, and it's much appreciated, so check it out. Other than that, stay creative. I'll see you guys in the next video.